Let's have a go.
Let's have a go. I hear that...
Wasted Water Sports, ahoy! How are we doing? Welcome to a very, very massive Saturday of a Wasted Sports action. Kicking off with Bledisloe Cup Game 2 over in Dunedin. All Blacks versus Wallabies. Is there an upset on the cards? Time will tell. The Wallabies are pretty good at winning dead rubbers, aren't they? Traditionally, they are fairly good at getting up in the dead rubbers, but they don't win when it counts. Of course, the All Blacks already have the Bledisloe Cup sewn up for another year. What is it, 20, 21, 22 years in a row? 23 maybe? Viking King, ahoy there, mate. Good to see you've got your name back. You've got your name back and you've reattached yourself to the Raiders. Will, ahoy there, mate. Will's obviously going for the Wallabies tonight. He's upset with you, Viking King, and he's upset with me. He's going for the Wallabies. Like I said, actually, you know, the Wallabies could very well spring an upset because but the All Blacks have already secured the Rugby Championship. This is not part of the Rugby Championship. Shortened version because of the Rugby World Cup later this year, of course. They've already secured the Bledisloe Cup. I should imagine that realistically, the All Blacks are going to be trying a few things out there tonight. More than a few things, probably. Or today, I should say. Out there today. I think there'll be a lot of experimentation going on, in all honesty. So, if there was ever an opportunity for the Wallabies to pinch one off the All Blacks, today will well and truly be the day. I don't think it will happen, though. That being said, I really don't think it will happen. I'm just saying, if there was a golden opportunity, and as I said, the Wallabies, as we know, they're very good at stealing dead rubbers. They're pretty good at winning when there's nothing on the line. We know that from the past 20-odd years. So anyways, welcome along, everybody. Nice to have you here. We've got a big, big day of sports coming up. As I mentioned, we've got the Bledisloe Cup about to kick off in about 15 minutes' time. And then we've got some serious season-defining games coming up in the NRL a little bit later on. The Cowboys have got it all to play for as they host the Broncos. And then, of course, later in the night, we've got the Rabbitohs. And they could really, really make life difficult for the Cronulla Sharks with a victory. And it would actually see the Sharks drop out of the top 8, which in all honesty, and I can say this as a fan, in all honesty, probably on form where they belong. I know that I'm extremely harsh on my teams, but I've got to be honest as well. And complete and total honesty and transparency, they suck. All right. A very good opportunity to give a shout out to the Wasted World of Sports All-Stars. It is a new thing. It's a new thing because the channel is now monetized. So a shout out to the All-Stars who have contributed, whether it be through Patreon subscription or through Super Chats on the YouTube channel or donations via Twitch, wherever you may have contributed to supporting the Wasted World of Sports. Absolutely not expected, but very much appreciated to each and every one of you there. Jason Bourne, Mr. Ed's Dead, Hamish McKenzie, Viliami, Gamer Mel, and Andrew O'Grady. Andrew O'Grady, of course, was the very first patron on the Wasted World of Sports. And he had a very... It probably wasn't the greatest time he's ever had as he co-hosted a stream and the Cowboys... His Cowboys got absolutely decimated on that night. So it was a little bit unfortunate for him. But yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody there, the Wasted World of Sports All-Stars team, for your continued support of whatever the hell this is. Honestly, I don't even know how to describe what this is. Weird, random, alternative commentary. HG and Roy on steroids. However you wish to describe it. Thank you. 12 minutes to go to kick off here. Bledisloe 2. The All Blacks were very, very dominant in Game 1. I'm expecting more of the same. In this game, Game 2, we've got a 3-leg multi for this one. I made the mistake last game. I got all the All Blacks try scorers. I got correct. The Wallabies let me down. So what I've done this time is I've left the Wallabies off the try-scoring sheets entirely. I've gone Will Jordan, I've gone Braden Enor, and I've gone everybody's favourite Japanese side dish, takiaho, in a 3-leg multi. I only put $20 on it. That $20 will translate into 280 if it gets up. So let's see. Let's see if I have better luck with leaving the Wallabies off the try-scoring chart. Marky Mark let me down last weekend, didn't he? So we'll have to wait and see. 11 minutes to go till kickoff here. Wasted World of Sports. Who have you got in the chat room? A very early start to this game. I was quite surprised, in all honesty. The earliness with which this game was kicking off. I was expecting maybe 5 o'clock. Something like that, 5 o'clock. Kickoff would have been happening. No. Took me by surprise. I had to get up early today. I don't like getting up early. It's not a good thing. But anyways, here we are. We made it. Congratulations, everybody who made it along. Last night was a big night as well, the doubleheader. Viking King says, Dan, next year Raiders will have a new logo, which you hate. Is that right? What's the new Raiders logo? I haven't seen or heard anything about this. Please tell me that the logo does not incorporate that god-awful, stupid Viking clap. Please tell me. A Viking clapping Viking would be the most ridiculous thing I may have ever seen. So I really hope that's not it. Let's have a look. Canberra. I mean, is this a legitimate thing? Because I am going to Google it. Canberra Raiders logo 2024. Is that it? What's the difference? Hang on, let me click. I don't see any difference other than they've given the Raider green eyes. And a deeper green. It's become a deeper, darker green, hasn't it? The Raider looks less menacing, in all honesty. It's a friendly-looking Raider. I think your current Canberra Raiders, Raider or Viking, your current Viking looks fierce, looks intimidating. They're turning it into a very, very passive-looking, like an approachable Viking. I think this is ridiculous. I'm with you, Viking King. I think this is a stupid logo change. Viable Solutions, ahoy mate, top of the morning from Ireland. Very nice. Welcome along. Will says still won't win them a premiership. I will say, hey, actually, just quietly, I'm secretly going for the Raiders next season. Just quietly. I mean, please don't let anybody know this, but just quietly, I will be on board with the Raiders next season. And do you want to know why? I'll tell you exactly why. Because Jack Whiten is leaving the Raiders in the hopes of winning a premiership, going to Souths. I would love nothing more than for Jack Whiten to leave, and then the year that Whiten leaves, the Raiders win the premiership. How hilarious would that be? Then we could all laugh at Jack Whiten moving over to the Rabbitohs. Please let it happen. Viable Solutions, you're a huge All Blacks fan. You got up at 3 a.m. to watch this. So it really is the top of the morning over there in Ireland. I do have a soft spot for Ireland, family heritage and all. So I'm hoping to see Ireland do well in the upcoming Rugby World Cup, as they should. They probably should. They probably should go deep into the finals of the World Cup this year. 6.5 minutes to go until proceedings get underway here. I actually don't mind, Will, in all honesty, I don't mind Melbourne. I don't understand Michelle's hatred for Melbourne. Like the intensity of the hatred that she has for the Storm, I personally don't get. I understand because she's holding on to the grudges of the salary cap dramas and Billy Slater like judo kicking people in the face and stuff like that. So I understand it, but it's just like that's got nothing to do with this current Melbourne team. Like the whole system at Melbourne, they really tidied everything up, didn't they? So at some stage, you've kind of got to let that go. I've let that go. I don't mind. I actually have nothing against Melbourne anymore. Viking King says, I agree, Dan. I won't be surprised if Raiders win the grand final without Jack Whiten. It'd be hilarious. Viable Solutions says, well, you like the Bears, so I'm guessing there's a bit of Irish in you. Oh, mate, I'm not even joking when I say Dan Intox is Australian born and raised to a cross-pollination of Irish and Maori family bloodline. So put those three together, you get the jolliest, greatest pisshead of all. I mean, those are three very big drinking nations. Put them all together, you get me. Teams are out on the field now, lining up for the anthems. Big crowd there at Dunedin. They've certainly come out. Mr. Ed's... Hey, Mr. Ed's dead. Now, does anyone remember last night's stream when I saw Mr. Ed's name pop up on the alerts and I couldn't quite make out what it was? I'm like, oh, cheers, Mr. Ed, for whatever that was, because I can't read the alert. I figured out what the alert was. Mr. Ed's dead. Mr. Ed's dead has joined the Patreon. And that's why you are now there, Mr. Ed's dead. Right in front of the goalpost there. Right in front of the goalpost there, Mr. Ed's dead. The newest member of the Ways to World of Sports All-Stars for joining the Patreon there. Thank you very much, Mr. Ed's dead. I very much appreciate it. We do have to tee up a time to chat all things conspiracy theory and knocking on the American government. Because I love talking about that sort of stuff. Obi, ahoy there, mate. All Blacks all day. Oh, we are remembering Tane Morton. All Black number 694. Ah, minute silence is over. Okay. Yes, I do apologise there, Tane, or Tane. We didn't realise there was a minute silence going on, and I spoke all over the top of it. Advanced Australia Fair ringing out across the stadium now. Will says, I'd like another anthem, something uplifting. Mr. Ed's dead says, you're worth joining. I'll drink to that. Cheers, Mr. Ed. You were saving up to mail a bottle of... Oh, yeah, that's right. The cooking oil. That's right. We discussed this. I remember that. The good old cooking oil. Ah, you've seen yourself on TV. Yes, good for you. Going through the anthems, Waltzing Matilda, you reckon, would be a good anthem for the Wallabies, do you? Not so sure about that. That's a... Isn't there a... I might be wrong, but doesn't Waltzing Matilda have like a deep, dark, underlying, like not positive message of sorts? Especially when I was at school, and we don't know if this was the same for you guys, but you know, we used to change the words when we were at school. Oh, a spammer. This is the first time I can recall a spammer being part of a rugby chat. We're going to go ahead and just abolish that immediately. Mr. Ed's dead. You have a link to your Discord. Maybe? Have you lost it? Or do you want to share it with somebody? Yeah, I mean, I could if it's not in the description of the YouTube video, I can probably organize one for you, Mr. Ed's dead. Give me a sec here. I can probably sort that out if you need, as the anthems are done and dusted. And the All Blacks will now get ready to present the Haka. All right, what am I doing here? Discord. Haka are about to commence. Oh, I know how to do it. Chuggy. I'll get it via Chuggy. Aaron Smith leading the Haka. Oh, they are serious about this, the All Blacks. It's Kapa Ongo. Not the traditional Haka. You know it's serious when they pull this one out. Oh, be very, very afraid, Wallabies. Viking King, yes, this game is in New Zealand. A very passionate performance here from the All Blacks. It's game on. We are ready to get underway. All right, Mr. Ed's dead. I'm going to quickly try and sort you out here before the game kicks off. Let's see. Very quickly. Commands. Discord. There we go. Here you go, Mr. Ed's dead. Incoming. There you go, mate. Ready to get us underway. Carl Dickinson from England, the head referee for this evening. Let's go. All Blacks have this in the bag. All Blacks 100, says Viking King. Getting ready to kick off. Let's get this game underway. Short kickoff to start. That was unexpected. The Wallabies do come down with it, though. And they're setting up a box kick clearance from McDermott. Just up to halfway. Marky Mark will come down with the ball on halfway. And the Wallabies secure possession from the kickoff. Now, John Farnham out to Karevi. Solid defense, though, from the All Blacks. Let's look for Will Jordan. Let's watch for Braden Inor. And let's watch for Takiaho balls. Anytime try scorers. Penalty advantage after 6 phases here for the Wallabies. And there they lose the ball. We'll come back for the penalty. Loose carry. The ball spills forward, but penalty advantage. And will the Wallabies take the 3? Offside there. The All Blacks take the 3, I say. A 3 points to nil. No, they're not interested. They're not interested, the Wallabies. They don't want the 3. They've decided they're not going to beat the All Blacks here today by going up in 3s. So John Farnham has plugged it into the corner, and they're going to take the line out and look for the rolling maul to take them over the line. I dare say the All Blacks will not compete this line out. They will just look to defend the rolling maul, but we'll see. No compete in the line out. They drive into the maul. That was a fairly predictable play. Wallabies controlling possession of the back. Now they release. That was well defended by the All Blacks. The Wallabies went absolutely nowhere on the rolling maul. Nowhere. Now setting up a pot of forwards just to the right of the ruck in front of the post. Wallabies control possession. Now they release it to the backs. Out left. And on the outside goes Korombete. He's gone into touch, I believe. But we will have to have a closer look. But they released early. They created some space. I think Korombete's feet have gone over the sideline. He doesn't seem too confident, Marika. Let's have a look. He gets on the outside. Korombete reaching out. His feet are in the field of play at the moment. His knee is just grazing the chalk. Here we go. This will be the angle. I feel like his knee here just grazing the chalk. I don't think you can argue either way. This is a genuine 50-50. His knee is touching the chalk there. He's grounded it pretty much simultaneously. I don't think you could argue either way here. If this try is given, fair enough. If this try is not given, also fair enough. As his knee touches the line there, just by a millimetre. The hair of a bee's nut in between this. You couldn't argue either way here. Try or no try. And it's been awarded. Like I said, you can't argue with that. It was a genuine 50-50. This time it's gone in favour of the Wallabies. A millimetre of Korombete's knee was touching the sideline, but simultaneous with the grounding. And that is the perfect start for the Wallabies. But Wallabies supporters, may I remind you of the last time the Bledisloe Cup was played in Dunedin. I'm pretty sure the Wallabies broke out to about a 24 points to nil lead that day. And the All Blacks just chipped away and fought back into it. And won it at the death. 7 points to nil, though. Wallabies up early. 3 minutes gone. And I bet they're feeling pretty damn good about themselves for not taking the 3 now. It goes back to Johnny Farnham, who clears it down as far as Will Jordan. And now the All Blacks launch a counter-attack space on the outside. But they cut back in field. They're in Wallabies territory. This is not what the team in gold wanted. Straight after points, All Blacks ball, front foot. Christie releases to big bad Brodie Retallick, who takes a hit up. Just going through the phases now. All Blacks controlling possession. McKenzie puts the kick in behind the line. It's a shocker, a dead set shocker from Damian McKenzie, and he would want that over again, I'm sure. Johnny Farnham takes the mark. He calls the mark. He was letting his voice be heard there. Try and understand it. Wallabies clear, up towards halfway. That is not straight into the line out. Takiaho, a terrible first throw from everybody's favourite Japanese side dish. And a little bit of a lackadaisical start here for the All Blacks. A lot of changes to the squad. And maybe we're just seeing the result of some of those changes here tonight. Just not connecting early, not clicking, things not going to plan for the All Blacks to start this game. Wallabies will get the scrum down 10 short of the halfway line, their own side of halfway. Oh, God, the score hasn't updated. Why hasn't the score updated? There we go. Okay, it's a bit delayed. It's a wee bit delayed, isn't it? As a penalty at scrum time to the Wallabies. The Wallabies are ahead 7-0. The scoreboard is a little bit slow in updating. I apologise for that. Oh, failing to find touch. Oh, you can't make mistakes like that. And now the kick back in behind. Sits up for Tate McDermott. Fires it back across infield. And now Marky Mark looking for some space to run. He's gone through one. He's got support from Kellaway. Here go the Wallabies again. Oh, this is very reminiscent of Dunedin. The game that I was talking about where the Wallabies just raced out of the blocks. And then the All Blacks just fought back into the contest and won it at the death. Very similar signs here early as the Wallabies have started with all the enthusiasm in the world. Where was this a week ago? You have to ask yourself. 22 out now from the All Blacks line. Wallabies just maintaining possession, controlling the flow of this game, driving towards the line. Oh, he bounces over, and this is another try. Oh, this is extremely reminiscent of that last game at Dunedin. The Wallabies raced out to at least a 20-point lead, I believe. And Tom Hooper has bounced over and scored a second try for the Wallabies. And you do have to ask yourself, where was this energy? Where was this enthusiasm a week ago? It's like I said at the top of the stream, the Wallabies seem to lift for dead rubbers. And you've got to ask yourself the question, if you can rise for a dead rubber, why can't you do it when everything's on the line? They've got players who are capable of putting in performances like this. And before any Wallabies supporters get overly excited, I do refer back to that last time in Dunedin. The Wallabies raced out to a 20-something plus lead, and the All Blacks chipped away and ran them down to the death. So there's obviously a long, long way to go in this game. Conversion successful from out wide, but this is a dream start for the Wallabies once more. Hooper's just run over the top of Damian McKenzie, and it's 14 points to 0. 14 zip. All Blacks go short on the restart. They secure the ball. Again, after points, securing possession. A chip in over the top. It's another terrible kick from Damian McKenzie. I don't understand Damian McKenzie's tactics at the moment with the kicks. He's back now to secure this ball, and now they launch a counter-attack raid down the left-hand edge. Danger signs here for the Wallabies. They're looking to strike back, and strike back early here, the All Blacks. Inside the Wallabies 22. Now they've got shape out to the right. Korombete it is, racing up, and the ball now spills onto the Wallabies side of the ruck. Fairly, it is deemed. And now breaking away, and they're away again, the Wallabies. He needs some support. There's no support there, but they've got front foot ball. Karevi puts the kick through. How's the chase? It's going to pop up very kindly for Jordan. And Will Jordan's been taken out in the air. Will Jordan's been taken out in the air. He taps and goes, looking to launch a counterattack. Oh, the pace this game is being played at is insane. Imagine, I'm sorry, Northern Hemisphere friends, but have you ever seen a game played at this sort of pace before? And now that kick has gone out on the full. And it'll come back for a Wallabies line out. Oh, it's hard to keep up. How are we supposed to commentate this game? It just never stops. Karevi is honestly lucky to still be on the field. Let's be honest about that. Karevi just took the legs out of Will Jordan in the air. And is very lucky to still be on the field right now. All right, I'm going to try and get this bloody scoreboard up to speed with the rest of the game. Line out throw for the Wallabies. It's 14-0 Wallabies. I don't know why the scoreboard is so far behind. Like crazy far behind. Oh, a huge hospital pass has been thrown. There we go. It's caught up a little bit. A hospital pass has been thrown across the face of the defensive line and it goes into touch. Tate McDermott to John Farnham, and John Farnham's been channeling Reece Walsh there, throwing passes straight over the sideline. All Blacks. The pace this game's been played at. Insane. They win the line out. Back to Mackenzie. Puts another nothing burger kick up. And Corin Bete is back there to take this. Mackenzie's kicking game compared to... this is where the All Blacks are really missing Richie Mo'unga. Richie Mo'unga, if he wasn't already stamped as the best number 10 in New Zealand, this first 12 minutes or so of Damian Mackenzie's performance has done it for him. He doesn't have a kicking game, D-Mac. Oh, now Will Jordan steps and goes right through a gap. Here goes Will Jordan, guaranteed anytime try scorer. Looks to pass out, looking for support, but Marky Mark gets in between the ball and the support runner. The All Blacks still have it, though. Damian Mackenzie taking them on. They've got a penalty advantage here. And they've got numbers to burn out on the left. And it's been knocked down by the Wallabies. A try-saving knockdown. And we will come back for the penalty. And I dare say at 14 points down in a dead rubber, they're not going to think about taking the 3 here, the All Blacks. Oh, they are! Okay, I'm an idiot. They are taking the 3. A gift 3 points on offer here. Will Jordan making something out of nothing. Will Jordan is so underappreciated, in my opinion, for what he brings to this team. Will Jordan is like the 2023 version of Ben Smith. And I don't think for 1 second I'm out of line for even suggesting that. Will Jordan is the modern-day Ben Smith for the All Black squad. Wallabies hooker is down, getting some treatment. And wow, I'm going to take this opportunity as they line up the gift 3 points to have a quick break, because this has been an insanely fast-paced start to this contest.
Simplicity and the connection back row, know where the ball's going to be. They're getting their courts and over the back set up. All Blacks getting back into the game. Ball is now not scripted again.
14 points to 3. It was an absolute gift 3-pointer. Will says, I thought you were referencing Ben Roberts. No, Ben Smith. You know Ben Smith? A fantastic utility for the All Blacks. Will Jordan is of a very similar build. Another white boy tearing up the All Blacks backline. $14-3 it is. Once again, the scoreboard is not updated. Captain Redbeard, ahoy! How are you doing there, Captain? And now the Wallabies steal the ball, and they are on the attack. 22 out from the All Blacks line. Valentini charging forward, looking for the offload. He pops it back. Arnold takes it forward. And now it's stolen by the All Blacks. Oh, it was loose there from the Wallabies, but the passing here from the All Blacks, not slick. They go back to the left-hand edge. And a clearing kick from inside the 22 is up well over halfway. But Kellaway takes it on the full, fires it back to Johnny Farnham. And Johnny Farnham now pumps it straight down the throat of Will Jordan. And Jordan can return this with some interest and does so. Spider Rico, ahoy there, mate. Will Jordan is highly rated, also good at cricket. Hey, you know who else was decent at cricket? Jeff Wilson. Corin Bette has made a complete and total cack of this at the back. And here's an opportunity now for the All Blacks. Corin Bette spills his beans at the back, trying to slide and catch that ball on the full. And for some... oh, God, and he's nearly broken his neck in the process. That could have been very nasty there, Corin Bette. That could very easily have been a broken neck. And we shouldn't even joke about things like that. But he got all tangled up there in the turf, Marika Corin Bette. And this is going to be a scrum down now for the All Blacks. 14-3 it is. I don't honestly understand why the scoreboard's not updating. We're also 16 and a half minutes in, not 13 and a half minutes. But anyway, we'll look for that scoreboard to catch up. Oh, a penalty at scrum time for the Wallabies. The All Blacks have been deemed to have taken the scrum down. Not even a warning, not a reset, nothing. Just immediate penalty. And Laulala has been deemed to have collapsed this scrum. And for the Wallabies, a relieving penalty there. 17 minutes gone, and they can now clear up towards halfway. Right on halfway, this line-out throw. Geez, how long have they been given to throw this one in? They get it in, though, the Wallabies at last. And they release it immediately. Suspect pass on halfway from McDermott. All Blacks counter. Told to back off. And Wallabies secure possession. Just on their own side of halfway. Johnny Farnham out to Arnold. Behind the back pass to Karevi. But they're wise to it. The All Blacks defence was lined up. Numbered up well. And they're sticking on this blind side. Corin Bette back inside to Karevi. And Karevi will lose it forward and knock it into touch. Take your pick. All Blacks will have a choice here. Line out or scrum. And I dare say, after what just happened to Laulala down the other end, they'll probably take the line out. 18 and a half minutes gone. 14-3. 2 tries to 0. And the Wallabies, they're doing some time wasting here. They've got to get themselves into this line out. Here we go. Oh, it's been overturned. That's why. It's been overturned and it's become Wallabies' ball. And they now drive forward from the line out win. They've charged back into All Blacks territory. securing the ball for another phase. Big defense in midfield from Sam Kane. Karevi juggles, secures possession. Feeds it back now. Phase 5. Wallabies marching towards the All Blacks 22. Angus Bell with a hit up. 7 phases now. They're in midfield. Secure the ball again. Now, Johnny Farnham finds some space for Kellaway. Kellaway bursts through 1, 2, and he's just cut down. They're inside the All Blacks territory well and truly now. Marky Mark spins, pops the pass back to McDermott. It's been lost forward by the All Blacks. All Blacks dive on the loose ball. There were definitely some hands there for a knock on. It was scrappy, but the All Blacks get it. And McKenzie from right on the dead ball line will clear up towards the 22. But it was not convincing. And it was incredibly messy at the back there for the All Blacks. Kellaway is looking very threatening every time he touches the ball. And there's just something about Dunedin, isn't there? Something about Dunedin. The Wallabies just seem to enjoy playing here. I remember a time it wasn't this stadium, but it was I'm pretty certain it was in Dunedin. And the Wallabies, who had a history back in the day of stealing Bledisloe Cup games at the death, pinching them away from New Zealand with penalty goals at the death. It might have been Matt Burke, I believe. Matt Burke might have been lining up the match-winning penalty goal that time. And then, of course, the game that I keep talking about, Dunedin last time, when the Wallabies raced out to a 3 or 4 tries to 0. And then Aaron Smith pinched one from the scrum base right on half-time, which set the tone for the second half as the All Blacks just got themselves back into the contest and won it at the death. So Dunedin, even though they don't always get the... Carisbrook, yes, thank you, Spider Rico. Carisbrook. Oh, I miss those old days, hey, like early Super Rugby, when it was still the Super 12s. And you had the Highlanders and you had Tane Randall. One of my favourite players, honestly, Tane Randall. Welcome to the House of Pain. I think it was like every time the Highlanders would score a try, that they would play that song over the PA. Welcome to the House of Pain. Good old days. The good old days of Super Rugby in general. It wasn't exactly a golden period for the All Blacks, was it, back in those days? But when, what did we have? We had Tane Randall was the captain for a period of time there, and Todd Blackadder. Todd Blackadder was the captain for a year or two there, and Anton Oliver. Anton Oliver was a fantastic hooker, but a stupid captain. I remember a game against the Wallabies. It was lost. The game was over, but the Tri-Nations was still well and truly on the line. And the All Blacks got a penalty. It was well and truly within Andrew Merton's kicking range. And as soon as they got the penalty, Mertz pointed straight to the post. Straight to the post, because he knew Bledisloe Cup was gone. As the Wallabies here have charged over the line under the posts. But it's been held up. The All Blacks defence holds firm. The Wallabies have been held up over the line. And it will come back for a penalty right in front of the sticks. And this is an absolute gift. 3 points if they want it. But at 14 points to 3 up, 21 and a half go, I would be very tempted to put a scrum down or something. They're taking the 3. Okay. Every time I say I mean, it's a gift 3 points. Take it, of course. But I just thought that maybe the Wallabies at this particular point in time, with all the momentum, another try, how massive it could be. Who am I thinking of? The other All Blacks captain. Anyways, I haven't finished this story about Anton Oliver. I remember it so well. So the Bledisloe Cup was gone. Australia had won the game. Tri Nations is still well and truly alive. So Andrew Mertens immediately points to the posts. 3 points is going to bring us within 7. We'll get the bonus point. So what does Anton Oliver do? The great big goof. The great big goof. He goes, we'll take the tap. We can't win the game. We're going to take the tap and go for the try. And I specifically remember the interview after the game. And they said, Anton, what was the reasoning behind that decision to knock back the shot at 3 and take the bonus point? And he said, he legitimately said in the post-match interview, screw the bonus point. We want to score tries. We want to be an All Blacks team that goes down as fighting to score tries. And I'm like, that is stupidity of the highest order. That is no sense captain right there. Fire him immediately, strip him of the captaincy for saying something so ridiculous. Screw the bonus point. You've got a competition to win, you great big goof. But anyway, I digress. Anton Oliver, not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. Let's put it that way. Andrew Mertens knew exactly what to do. Take the 3. Take the bonus point. We'll take something out of this game. Oh, yes, the Wallabies back in those days. Back in the Rod McQueen era, the John Eales era, the George Gregan era of the Wallabies. So much heartache bestowed upon All Black supporters. I think it might have been 2001 Spider Rico. You could be right about that. It could very well have been 2001. Yeah, he wasn't captain for very long, if you can believe it. And then, was it Reuben Thorne who took over from Anton Oliver? Or was Reuben Thorne before Anton Oliver? I can't quite remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Reuben Thorne... I think Reuben Thorne was captain for a bit there. But yes, I remember the Todd Blackadder years. The Todd Blackadder years were quite devastating for All Black supporters. Jonathan Manson, ahoy. Glad they took the 3. Oh, smart decision. Take the 3 when they're on offer. I thought they might have gone for the try, go in for the kill, but absolutely the right decision. Take the 3 when it's on offer, well and truly. Always take the 3. "23 minutes gone in this game. The scoreboard is slowly but surely catching up to us here on the live feed, which is good. Spider Rico says, think Thorne may have been before him. Yeah, you could be right there, Spider. I don't quite remember that period of time. I think I'm correct in that Toddy Blackadder was first. Maybe it went from Blackadder to Thorne to Oliver. Oh, actually, where did Tane Randall fit in to that mix, come to think of it? I've actually got a Super 12 program in the other room there somewhere. I've got a Super 12 program. As this kick from the All Blacks dribbles over the dead ball line, and we will come all the way back for a scrum. Back into All Blacks territory. Truth Masters, ahoy there. Welcome along. Go the All Blacks. They're struggling with the changes they've made. Damien McKenzie is having an absolute day out to forget. And this ball comes all the way back to the All Blacks 22 for a scrum down. But yeah, I've got a Super 12 rugby program in the other room, signed by Jonah Lomu. It is one of my prized possessions. I went to see, because I live in Queensland. I went to Ballymore to see the Queensland Reds versus the Hurricanes in the Super 12. And I managed to track down Jonah Lomu, Tana Umanga, and Christian Cullen. And I've got the program signed by all three on the team page. And it's one of my prized pieces of merchandise. And then from the same year, I've got Queensland Reds versus the Crusaders. And I've got Mertz, Justin Marshall, Todd Blackadder, and somebody else. Somebody else is on there as well. The good old days of Super 12s, before Super Rugby became an absolute abomination with conferences and I love my rugby union. Okay, here on the Wasted World of Sports, we do way more NRL streams than anything else. Honestly, though, rugby union is my love, my passion. But Super Rugby, I just can't get behind it anymore with the conference system and bring back the Super 12. Super 12 was pinnacle Super Rugby. Big Bad Birdie Retallick is limping off towards the sideline. And that is not good news there for the All Blacks. Big Bad Brody heading off to the sideline. Hamish McKenzie, ahoy there, mate. Oh, they've failed to find touch from the penalty. The All Blacks have now failed to find touch. Frizzell diving over the ruck and giving away a penalty, and this will be an absolute gift 3 points if they want it again, the Wallabies. Now, this might be one that they knock back. I do apologise that number 6 this week is not Shannon Frizzell. Spider Rico says Randall was 21 when he first captained the All Blacks in South Africa in 96. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I believe Tane Randall was captain for that greatest game of all, the 39-35 All Blacks win at Stadium Australia, when Lomu scored in injury time down the sideline, breaking away from Larkham and Gregan to score in the corner and pinch it for the All Blacks. Wallabies have got the ball. The pressure is once again on the All Blacks here. 10 out from the line. Wallabies possession. Whitelock is told to retreat. It'd be very interesting to see the possession statistics here for the Wallabies, I feel like. And now they've got a penalty advantage, failing to roll away. Points are back. We come back for the penalty. This is out. This is too far out wide. They'll either tap or they'll plug this into the corner, the Wallabies, I dare say. Lip readers. What do you reckon he just said? I think it was something about fair shake. Fair shake, I believe it was. Fair shake, I think he said. And they do plug this into the corner. Wallabies line out. 17 points to 3, and this feels eerily familiar to the last time out at Dunedin. Secure the ball. Arnold feeds it back. They've got the rolling ball marching forward. This time the Wallabies. All Blacks put numbers in. Drive backwards. They're close to the line now. It collapses. McDermott breaks away and goes on his own. Tate McDermott. He's held up. Has he got the ball down? No, he has not. Oh, how have they held this one out? Tate McDermott has broken away from the base of the ruck. Tate McDermott, it was over the line and then diving over the top. A try saver. Oh, there was only the hair of a bee's nut in between the ball and the turf there. And another 5 points for the Wallabies. But the All Blacks, immense defense on their goal line to save that one. Wallabies will get the ball from the dropout, though. Eddie the Jelly, ahoy! Kick in behind the line is a shocker from the Wallabies, and it will just dribble over the sideline. And the All Blacks will get the throw into the line out. Jordan Patea, that was terrible kick. How has Tate McDermott not scored this try? Absolutely incredible goal line defense. Spider Rico says, watching the game with your comments, all the New Zealand commentators are Wellington fans. All Blacks secure the line-out ball. Just setting things up for the clearance now. It goes back to D-Mac. D-Mac, not the greatest kick in the world once again. Just outside the 22. That has not relieved the pressure. Oh, Richie Mo'unga is the number 10 for the World Cup. Please. D-Mac. D-Mac is failing his audition here. Simon Cowell has already hit the buzzer and sent him home. Richie Mo'unga is our number 10. It's that simple. Pinched by Scotty Barrett. He gets that big left paw up and steals it back for the All Blacks. And now they go as far as Inor. And Inor puts a massive left foot kick in behind Andrew Kellaway. And it bounces kindly for the Wallabies back. And he gets the clearance now back into All Black territory. They go quickly. McKenzie lining up the short side. Jordan cuts back in field. Passes to nobody. Takiaho picks it up, the loose ball, and drives over halfway for the All Blacks. And now, oh, that's been spilt forward. That's been spilt forward. That's loose and scrappy from the All Blacks. We're not used to seeing this, but that's what mass changes will do. They've put a lot of changes into this team. And we're just seeing the effects of that, the after effects. It's very scrappy. It's very loose. 31 minutes gone and haven't even looked like scoring. The All Blacks are being dominated here by the Wallabies. 72% possession in favour of the Wallabies. 70% territory. That is unreal. Unbelievable statistics. Kellaway puts the kick through. Jordan's back to secure it. Wallabies all over the ball. Illegally, though, Marky Mark goes off his feet. And that'll be a penalty to the All Blacks. Can they come away with something before halftime? Mr. Ed's Dead says, this is the kind of game that made me think I really like rugby. There you go, Mr. Ed's Dead. Rugby is the greatest sport. It's the game played in heaven, Mr. Ed's Dead. It's the greatest sport in the world. Bar none. All Blacks throw into the line out. Hits the mark. Damian McKenzie. Oh, he holds on a little bit too long there. Damian McKenzie is having an absolute shocker. It's got to be said. Damian McKenzie is just playing himself out of All Blacks contention. I mean, if he even had a chance, to be honest. I mean, for me, Richie Mo'unga is the starting number 10. Come World Cup time. No questions asked. Richie Mo'unga is the 10. I don't understand why we're trying to convert Themac into a 10. They just dominated him in the tackle there. Turned the ball over, won the penalty. Wallabies will get the throw into the line out now. It's tapped back. They secure possession. 17 points to 3. Setting things up now in front of the post. Still 22 out. Karevi charges forward. Big defense in midfield there by Takiaho. Driving Karevi backwards. 5 phases gone. Not really finding any territory here, the Wallabies. Oh, McDermott tries to take the referee's head off. Valentini now skips. Tries to get on the outside. Oh, it's been stolen. It's been ripped out. And that's now a loose pass across the face of the post. Sam Cane secures the loose ball. And the All Blacks will come away with it. Stevenson did well to rip that ball away. McKenzie now. What the hell was that? A kick pass across field. Not too sure that was the right option. Now, McKenzie. A clearing kick this time. From inside the 22. Finding distance. Can't beat Kellaway, who takes it on the full. Passes back in field to John Farnham. And Johnny Farnham puts it straight down the throat of Jordan, who links up with McKenzie. McKenzie goes high. How's the kick chase? McKenzie leading the chase and then spills it forward. Damien McKenzie. Oh, the poor guy is really not having a good game. And now the kick in behind the line will dribble into touch and the Wallabies win that one. The Wallabies win that little game of force and backs. And Damien McKenzie, God bless him. I've got nothing against him at all. A fabulous player on his day, but it is really not his day today. It is and now what's happened here? A free kick to the All Blacks. The referee has had enough of the Wallabies time wasting. We've seen that before at Bledisloe Cup time, haven't we? We've seen this at Bledisloe Cup time. And once again, the Wallabies pinged for time wasting. A little more inconsequential this time around, though, to be fair. And the All Blacks clear up over halfway. It'll still be Wallabies throw into the line out. But they've lost about 50 metres. They win the line out. McWright gets it at the back. I don't know what he was doing. He was standing still. He was frozen in the matrix. Hooper at the back of the line out there. They've secured possession though. And now McDermott just controlling the ball, setting up a box kick. Tate McDermott puts it high. The chase from Marky Mark is good, but Damien McKenzie takes it, beats one, now fires across to Jordan. Counter-attack is on here. Oh, Stevenson it is, beating the first up tackle. All Blacks now are lined up out to the left. Can they get it out there? That's a loose pass over the head. McKenzie now looking for the kick pass again. He's obsessed with the kick pass today, McKenzie. All Blacks have the ball, though. 17 points to 3. It remains to the Wallabies. Lined up out to the right now. Enor steps. Goes straight through Enor. Looking for support. He's got it. Will Jordan now. He's taken by Gordon at the back. Penalty advantage now to the All Blacks. This is better. Much better stuff. Enor again. Again tries to step in field. Securing possession for 6 phases now. Still playing under penalty advantage. Christie flicks the pass inside to Stevenson. Can't break through. They're 22 out from the Wallabies line. Oh, and it's just spilling the ball there. It's loose. It's going to be a penalty, though. All Blacks, do they take the 3 here with a minute and a half to go until half-time? Do they take the 3? No, they don't. They're plugging this into the corner. They're going to try and set up a rolling maul. Well, Mackenzie needed to put it deeper than that. What the hell kind of kick into touch was that? I mean, I'm sorry. I know. I understand that my commentary today probably makes it seem like I really dislike Damien Mackenzie. I don't. I've just got to be honest, though. I have to be honest. He's having a shocker. That was a terrible kick into touch. And now they've spilt their beans at the back of the line out, and the Wallabies will get the ball. Oh, it's loose here. It's scrappy from the All Blacks. They spill it at line-out time, and the Wallabies will get the scrum down, 22 out from their own line. And the All Blacks, it's just not clicking for them today. Viking King is changing his tip. Oh, ye of little faith, Viking King. We have seen this before, Viking King. We've seen this before. Last time in Dunedin, the Wallabies raced out to an early lead. Aaron Smith scored a try right on the stroke of half-time, which totally swung the momentum. I wouldn't be changing any tips just yet. It's only 14 points. 14 points is nothing to the All Blacks. Spider Rico, you're not a fan of D-Mac? I'll drink to that. No, look, I've got absolutely nothing against him. I prefer him as a fullback, honestly. And I know that he has no place in the team as a fullback, but honestly, he's got no place in the team as a fly half either. Dallas McLeod has come on. His All Blacks debut. Cheers to Dallas. What a name, by the way. That is an immense name, isn't it? Dallas McLeod. Oh, no! Braden Innor's off. Well, there goes my multi. My multi has just been torn to pieces as Braden Innor leaves the field and makes way for Dallas McLeod. Well, I've got no chance of winning the multi now. $17 points to 3 here in halftime. The Wallabies will take the lead into the break. And, hey, I mean, does anyone know the game I'm talking about? I'm pretty sure it was in Dunedin, and the Wallabies raced out to an early lead. I believe it might have been an Israel Folau intercept that started it. The intercept pass may or may not have been thrown by Damien Mackenzie that day as well, come to think of it. I could be wrong about all this, by the way. Will Genia scored a try. I'm pretty sure. Will Genia got a loose ball out the back of the scrum and raced away upfield and linked up with Bernard Foley, I think. Bernard Foley, by the way, has one of the most punchable faces in world sport. I'm glad that he doesn't play for the Wallabies anymore, incidentally. He's been taken over by Nick White. Nick White now has the most punchable face in world sport. But anyways, I digress. That's neither here nor there. Michael Hooper scored a try off the back of a line out as well. And I think, the Wallabies were up by about, I want to say at least 20 points. And then Aaron Smith scored the try right on the stroke of half time. And the All Blacks stole it at the death. The short kickoff, which came back down to them. And, a little switch play with Bowden Barrett. And under the post, they went to steal it at the death. Shack of Hearts, ahoy there, mate. How you doing? Welcome along, mate. 17 points to 3 here at halftime. The Wallabies. No strangers to being in the lead in Dunedin. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Alana Ferguson. Sorry, distracted. Spider Rico says Jordan is seen as a backup to Barrett at fullback. See, I would have him on the wing. I would have Will Jordan playing on the wing full time. Starting winger. Bowden Barrett at fullback. Richie Mwanga at fly half. Aaron Smith, number 9. Done. There's your spine. There's your All Black spine for the World Cup. All right, Wasted World of Sports, half-time here, 17 points to 3. The Wallabies have once again shown up in Dunedin. They seem to not only show up in Dunedin, they seem to show up for dead rubbers as well. But look, all credit to them. They are full value for this lead right now. They really are. I'm going to have myself a quick break for half-time. And I'll be right back and we can dissect everything that we've seen so far in this first 40 minutes. Jay, Joe, ahoy there. Welcome along, mate. So, yes, I'll pop off and have a quick break for a couple of minutes. Wasted World of Sports coming back at ya for the second half right after this. And we'll have a chat about everything that we just saw here as the Wallabies, against all the odds, have well and truly shown up here in Dunedin. And they are prepared to make a game of it. Can they keep it up for the next 40? We'll see after the break. Waste of Water Sports, welcome back here. Bledisloe Cup number 2. 17 points to 3 at half-time. What a turn-up for the Wallabies. Leading at the break. Who had that? Before we talk too much about the game, though, a very special shout-out to our Wasted Water Sports All-Stars. The All-Stars who have contributed to the streams, whether it be through Super Chats on YouTube, through joining the Patreon. I thank each and every one of you. Jason Bourne, Mr. Ed's Dead, Hamish McKenzie, Viliami, Gamer Mel, and Andrew O'Grady, our squad of All-Stars. Thank you very much for your support and contributions to everything here at the Waste of Water Sports. As I always say, not expected, but very much appreciated whenever it happens. So cheers to each and every one of you. 17 points to 3 here at halftime. The Wallabies have a tendency to not only show up games in Dunedin, but showing up for dead rubbers is becoming a thing as well. Now, the All Blacks are obviously experimenting. Eddie Jones is line dancing in the sheds at the moment. I'm not sure what that's all about. I can picture Achy Breaky Heart playing over the top now of this soundtrack as Eddie Jones is line dancing to the rest of the squad, putting on a showcase in the changing rooms. But yes, the Wallabies, they've well and truly showed up for this one, and you've got to ask the question now. All right, obviously the All Blacks have made a lot of changes to their team. A lot of changes to their starting squad. There's no Richie Mo'unga, which is a very important piece of the puzzle. There's no Bowden Barrett, another key X-Factor game breaker. There's players missing. We understand that. And those changes have created some of the sloppiness that's been involved in this first half of footy. But still, you've got to ask the question, why can't they do this? They being the Wallabies, I mean. And this is moving towards Vobsy's point there in the chat room. Towards Vobsy's point of Wallabies win, but it means nothing. Why can't the Wallabies do this when it matters? They just get decimated when it matters, and they show up here in Dunedin for a dead rubber when the All Blacks are experimenting and put them to the sword at the moment. But of course, once again, I draw back to that last time out at Dunedin. We saw this exact same thing. The All Blacks struck before half-time in that game, though, and that was the key. Aaron Smith with the try from the base of the ruck, right on the stroke of half-time. They knocked back the 3. They went for the try. They got the try. And that was what swung that game around last time out. The All Blacks did not manage to get that swing of momentum at half-time in this game. So the Wallabies are maintaining a 14-point lead after the break, which is just huge for them, in my opinion. So it might be different this time out. Still, it's only 2 tries. 2 tries, absolutely nothing for the All Blacks. Absolutely nothing. It can easily be run down. The All Blacks just need to click. Braden Inor is off the field. This is terrible for my multi. Awful. Hopefully he comes back at some point. But we'll see. How are you there, Vobsy? Welcome along. Bright and early. Vobsy says, can't believe you convinced me to put Will Jordan into a multi. He's going to score a try. Will Jordan is a guaranteed try scorer. Oh, ye of little faith. It's going to happen. If the All Blacks only score 1 try in this whole game, it will be Will Jordan. Believe me. He is a guaranteed try scorer. Wallabies out on the field, enjoying a 14-point lead. Oh, both teams are out on the field. Wallabies getting ready to kick off. Oh, my God. This has sprung up on me. I'm not prepared. Referee blows his whistle, and we are underway for the second half. The All Blacks staring down a 14-point deficit. Don't you worry, Vobsy. Who else have you got in the multi, by the way? See, it's the other people in the multi that might be of concern. Oh, an early penalty advantage here for the All Blacks, failing to roll away the Wallabies. And there, they win the early penalty. How are you there, Michelle? Ahoy. Yeah. Never prepared. How dare you? You are not able to say anything even remotely about preparedness to me. Showing up 5 minutes before streams start. The audacity of that statement knows no limits. A little bit of friendly fire here for the Wallabies. And we have an injury break, a very early injury break in the second half. Shack of Heart says All Blacks comeback. I'm calling it. Oh, of course, it's going to happen. Naturally, it's going to happen. If I were you, Michelle, I'd be more concerned about the Broncos coming up in, about an hour's time, isn't it? About an hour's time. The Broncos taking on the Cowboys. They still haven't left Queensland, but at least North Queensland is a little bit of travel time that they've had to go through. Spider Rico, welcome back. Your halftime beer run. Very nice. There we go. Penalty to the All Blacks. They clear up towards the halfway line. Yeah, I've tipped the Cowboys just quietly. Shack of Hearts. I may change that before the game kicks off, but I am leaning towards the Cowboys at the moment at home. What I'm concerned about for the Cowboys, though, is Val Holmes, Kyle Felt's playing in the centres. Kyle Felt is playing in the centres. I feel like Katoni Staggs is going to have an absolute field day. Kyle Felt has a tendency to lean in with the weak shoulder, and Staggs could have an absolute field day if he gets one-on-one with Kyle Felt in the centres there. So that's my only concern for the Cowboys. Penalty advantage here for the All Blacks. Do they take the three from right out in front? Am I streaming the NRL games? Yeah, if I have time, I should be able to sneak it in. Theoretically, I should be able to sneak in the Broncos game. So, yes, that is the plan. But we'll see. I've obviously been invited along to Brewfest. Don't know if I'll go to that. Takio into the line out. All Blacks secure the ball. Set up the driving maul. Didn't see my name on the door either, Michelle. No, I'm only joking. I'm obviously just mucking around, having a laugh. But no, last night, big doubleheader. I wasn't missing the big doubleheader last night in the NRL. Now the All Blacks have gone up again. McKenzie fires the cutout pass out wide to Stevenson, and Stevenson will score in the corner for the All Blacks. And they are well and truly back in this game now, like anyone thought they were out of it. But Stevenson has scored. 17 points to 8, the kick to come. And that, the halftime talk must have been immense from Fozzie, because they have just struck immediately here, the All Blacks. "17 points to 8, kick to come." And just a look of resignation on the faces of the Wallabies, like, here we go again. Here we go. We've been here before. A very special shout out to our Wasted Water Sports All-Stars as Damien McKenzie lines up this conversion from out wide. Our Wasted Water Sports All-Stars squad, who have supported the channel either through super chats on YouTube or by joining the Patreon. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. As Damien McKenzie from the sideline moves in and strikes it. It hooks back straight over the middle. 17 points to 10 it is. Suddenly, there's just you blink and there's suddenly just a converted try in it. Back underway we go. All Blacks, it's 17-10. I don't know why the scoreboard is so far behind today. But anyway, it's not the end of the world. 17-10 it is. Wallabies over the All Blacks. McKenzie from inside the 22 puts the kick straight down the throat of Johnny Farnham. Farnham returns it to the halfway line, looking for support. Dummies. Goes on his own, Johnny Farnham. All Blacks all over the ball here. Surely that's a penalty. And it is. Oh, Savia was all over that ball. And the All Blacks have just gone up a couple of gears here, and the Wallabies are failing to go with them. The start of this second half, Adi Savia straight back to his feet, straight on that ball. And it had to be a penalty. The referee was left with no choice there but to award that penalty. And the All Blacks have just found some rhythm here, winning the line out now. It'd be nice if they found some of my anytime try scorers. But anyway, setting up the maul, driving forward. That is once. Oh, they've got big numbers here. The All Blacks driving forward. In from the side there, the Wallabies to try and kill this off. It collapses, and it collapses fairly. And they've done extremely well to defend that there, the Wallabies. Extremely well. Collapsing the maul and winning the scrum feed. That was an amazing effort there. Tom Hooper it was. Vobsy says, watch all the New Zealand fans emerge from nowhere and start crap talking if Australia lose. You mean when Australia lose? Let me just correct that. When Australia lose.
From using that size with execution and physicality, the All Blacks now, right of possession, come back to their way.
64% territory still. Spider Rico says, I'm in Auckland, only New Zealand city where league is #1 game. Thank you. Thank you, Spider Rico. Look, obviously, I'm a fan of both sports, but I love my rugby union predominantly. But thank you, Spider Rico, because I make this joke all the time during the NRL streams. I make this joke constantly about how rugby league is only on the east coast of Australia and in Auckland and a couple of places in England. So thank you. Thank you for confirming what I joke about, that rugby league is basically Auckland. All Blacks again turning over that ball. They are just dominating the ruck area now in this second half. Karevi with the kick. You don't see that very often. And Christie just lurches back and takes it. Fires it back to Will Jordan. Will Jordan, not the greatest clearance in the world there, Jordan. But it's up towards halfway, and it's a little bit of relief. They can attack this line out potentially. But yes, the All Blacks have just gone up a gear or two. And in this second half. And yeah, they're starting to control the ruck. They're winning turnover ball. Yeah, welcome along anyway, Spider Rico. I do sincerely hope that you're enjoying yourself here at the Waste of Water Sports. As Laulala is replaced by Newell. Richie Mo'unga is on the field. Here we go. Richie Mo'unga has come on. Damien McKenzie makes way for for the real number 10. No offense to D-Mac, but the real number 10 is on the field now. And look for this second half to now go up a gear. Once again, Richie Mo'unga is on the field. Look for this All Blacks backline to suddenly spark into attack. It is Wallabies ball, though, for the time being. And now it spills forward. Here we go. The turnover. The counter is on. Artie Savia with a kick. The chase is led by Stevenson. How's the bounce? It bounces kindly for Finley Christie, but he spills his beans. And that will be a scrum down for the Wallabies. But Richie Mo'unga out on the field. Now, Truth Masters is no offense, D-Mac. No, honestly, I honestly have nothing against Damien McKenzie. I know that this whole stream probably sounds like I do. I don't. It's just that Richie Mo'unga is the better option at fly half, in my opinion. In my honest opinion, Richie Mo'unga is clearly our starting fly half for the World Cup. Spider Rico says, I was at the Warriors' first trial game versus the Raiders in 1995 at the old Carlaw Park. Oh, Jesus Christ. 1990, wow. You know what I hate? This is what I particularly hate about the NRL at the moment, is there's now like kids. There were players that I grew up watching and idolizing, and now their goddamn kids are playing in the NRL. It's like, oh, yeah, like I need to feel old. Now kids of the players are out there running around, tearing it up. Like, jeez. Even last night, Rod Wishart's boy was out there for the Melbourne Storm. Tyrone Wishart was out there for Melbourne last night in the stream. I'm like, geez, okay, yeah, I grew up watching Rod Wishart play for the Illawarra Steelers. God damn. 17 points to 10. Wallabies here, though, in the Bledisloe Cup. Dead rubber. Marching forward. All Blacks, they're all over the ball at ruck time again, and they win another turnover penalty. Oh, the All Blacks have just... This first 11 minutes of the second half, they have just gone up a gear or two at ruck time. Sam Whitelock leading the way. Another penalty. Another turnover ball at ruck time for the All Blacks. Jason Bourne, ahoy! How are you doing there, mate? Oh, Eddie Jones slams the radio down onto the bench. He's not happy. Line out throw here for the All Blacks. Uncontested by the Wallabies. They get in and they lose it forward. They get into spoil it, but they lose it forward. Oh, it's not been called. Oh, the referee has just completely ignored that. Oh, now he's called it. Okay. He got a call from the touchy. I think he got a call from the touchy there, because I was going to say the referee has just ignored the blatant knock on here for the Wallabies. But no, he's got the call from his touch judge. And there we go. We'll come back. Scrum down here for the Wallabies. For the All Blacks. 22 out from the Wallabies line. Aaron Smith is on for Finley Christie. Dane Coles is on for Takiaho balls. Well, my multi is completely shot to pieces here today. Completely. Enor is off. Takiaho balls is off. I've got no chance of that multi getting up now. 30th Bledisloe Cup match for Aaron Smith. Fozzie has thrown out the experienced heads now for the All Blacks. "53 minutes gone. 7 points the difference." Wasted World of Sports coming up after this game. NRL action will kick in, starting with the Cowboys versus the Broncos. We've got a big Saturday afternoon of sports lined up for you. So feel free to stick around. If you're into the NRL, as the scrum collapses here on this near side, and we will get a reset. 54 minutes in. 7 points the difference in favor of the Wallabies. Cowboys Broncos coming up in an hour's time. I've tipped the Cowboys, Jason Bourne. Just so you're aware. Free kick here for the All Blacks. They tap, they go. Savia driving forward. They go towards the post. Oh, space opens up. They can't quite get through. But now Stevenson looking for another one. Stevenson gets a double. Stevenson gets a double potentially. Was it Stevenson? Oh, it might not have been Stevenson. It's the other winger. Fainganuku. It's the opposite winger. Well, let's see. We need to have a look. We could be on level pegging here in a moment. Let's see if this try is awarded. We need to have a look. Jason Bourne says Broncos will smash the Cowboys. The Broncos without Adam Reynolds. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it, Fanuku. This will be no try. No try. But yes, Jason Bourne, Broncos without Reynolds. I'm very concerned. I'm very, very concerned about I'm very, very concerned about the Cowboys center defense though. Kyle Feldt is replacing Val Holmes in the centers. That is my only concern. I feel like the Broncos could potentially just tear the Cowboys apart through that center channel that Val Holmes is absent from. $17-10 it remains. All Blacks do have the ball, though. So are we saying the Broncos are a one-man team? No, not necessarily. I'm saying the Broncos are a one city team, a one state team. I don't think the Broncos are any good outside Queensland. I understand that this game is still in Queensland, but as I was just saying to Michelle earlier, travelling up to North Queensland, it's just far enough away to make it a little bit of travel distance for them. So they might struggle. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm honestly not convinced yet, Spider Rico. They have had literally 99.9% of their games at Suncorp Stadium. I'm not convinced. I've not been sold on the Broncos yet. I've honestly not been sold on the Broncos yet, Spider Rico. I've got to be honest. They are going to be in big trouble once they have to leave Queensland. Because they haven't had to leave Queensland yet this whole season. It has been insane the way that the draw has fallen for them this year. Crazy. Even their away games have been in Queensland. Penalty here to the All Blacks. Right in front, it's a gift 3 points for Richie Mo'unga. And this will make it 17 points to 13. 57 minutes gone. (17-13). All Blacks well and truly in striking distance here. Oh, the kickoff. And Corin Bete has just lined up his opposite number and smacked him. The clearing kick towards the touchline. Taken on halfway by Kellaway. All Blacks, they're all over the ball. Stevenson falls to a knee, has to release. Wallabies get away with that one. Skelton now drives it forward. All Blacks, they're all over the ball again. Off their feet, have to release. All Blacks, though, suddenly looking very dominant around the ruck area. Wallabies hold on to it, though. Maintain it through 6 phases. All Blacks roll. James Slipper now taking it forward. It spills onto the All Black side. Illegally, a penalty here. This will nullify the 3. They've got to take the 3 here, the Wallabies. They've got to take the 3 here, surely. They must take the 3 here, the Wallabies. Spider Rico, I'm going to put my balls on the chopping block big time here and say I would not at all be surprised if the Broncos drop to 4th or 5th. In all honesty, the Broncos may not win another game for the rest of the season. I'm more than comfortable with making seemingly ridiculous predictions. But I would not be shocked if the Broncos don't win another game the rest of the season. Starting today with the Cowboys. And they are taking the 3 here. The Wallabies, John Farnham's lining up the kick at posts to make it 20 points to 13. "20 minutes to go in this game. 7 points the difference again. Oh, it's hit the post. It's hit the post and bounces back. And Mo'unga will clear. Oh, it was a gift. 3 points gone begging. An absolute gift 3-pointer to the Wallabies has gone begging here. John Farnham has hit the post. They secure the line-out ball, but they drop it forward to the back, the Wallabies. Oh, and the All Blacks are just clicking into gear slowly but surely. Dunedin all over again every single time. The Wallabies race out to a lead. The All Blacks just slowly but surely. Things start to come together. And here we are once again. 20 minutes to go in this game. 4 points the difference. Leaving points out on the field. It's a scrum down on halfway for the All Blacks. They've got their A squad, or close to their A squad, out there on the field now. Aaron Smith is out there. Richie Mo'unga is out there. They can turn it on here. Look for a Will Jordan try anytime soon here, Vopsy. Mr. Ed's Dead says, go, Wallabies, go. Can they hold on for the last 20, Mr. Ed's Dead? I don't think so. They need more points, and they've just left points out there. You don't want to leave points out on the field against the All Blacks. Scrum down, a solid scrum. They're driving forward, the All Blacks. Dominating. Savia breaks away. Looking for support. He's got support. Captain Sam Cane back in field. Oh, that was a dominant scrum and very worrying signs for the Wallabies. Now Leonard Brown's got it in midfield. The All Blacks. They've just gone up. They've just gone up some gears that the Wallabies are not able to contend with. Spider Rico says you're on 8.5% beers now, so you might be wrong. Not a problem. You're in the right place, Spider Rico. You're in the right place for excessive drinking and drunkenly getting things wrong. Completely in the right place. Jason Bourne says, but let's be honest, do you agreement Broncos win today? Without Reynolds, they are a chance. No, I think the Cowboys win today. I'm very concerned about the center defensive channel that's been left by Val Holmes. Kyle Felt is a defensive liability and a half. So I've tipped the Cowboys. I've tipped the Cowboys with no confidence because I think the Broncos are well and truly worth at least 18 points through that defensive channel left by Val Holmes. Kyle Felt will not be able to cover that off at all. All Blacks ball here. They're a couple of meters out from the line now. Sam Cane feeds it along to McLeod. They're a meter short. All Blacks setting things up. They're over. They're under the post, and they've scored. Try time for the All Blacks, and they've gone into the lead for the first time in this game. 63 and a half minutes in, and the All Blacks take the lead. Like I was saying, they've just gone up a gear that the Wallabies cannot cope with, and here we go. They can tear away with this game now. Right under the sticks. And the All Blacks are in front for the first time today. And I think that this has answered a lot of questions in the lead up to the World Cup as well, in all honesty. Aaron Smith is better than Finley Christie. I think we all knew that, though. Richie Mo'unga is a better fly half than Damien McKenzie. I think we all knew that, though. It was all about giving them time. It was all about giving the fringe players time out on the paddock. We've gone to the game breakers now. Aaron Smith, Richie Mo'unga, we've turned to them. Dane Coles, we've turned to them. And they've turned this game around. And they've got themselves ahead. And it's really answering a lot of questions for Fozzie. About who his top squad is. Kickoff goes to Leonard Brown. Leonard Brown immediately clears, not looking for touch, but straight down the throat of Kellaway. Wallabies now return towards the halfway line. All Blacks, they're all over the ball. They've held it off the ground, and they win a turn over the All Blacks. Oh, the Wallabies just can't stick with them. The replacements have come on and made all the difference in the world. And the Wallabies just cannot stick with the All Blacks right now. They've gone to levels the Wallabies don't even know. Jason Bourne says, well, I think this is a huge game also for Walsh. Don't be surprised to see Walsh playing and slotting into the halves in attack. Reece Walsh is probably the most overrated player in the NRL at the moment. Look for him to throw at least a few more passes straight over the sideline to the touch judge today. His purple patch is over. You've heard it here first. Reece Walsh's purple patch is over. Oh, through the legs to Aaron Smith. Now they feed the back line. Will Jordan puts the kick through. In behind the line, Kellaway secures the ball. Gets it to Korombete. But a penalty advantage was being played. And we come all the way back. That was a long, long penalty advantage back at scrum time. Extraland says Alex Johnston 2 tries tonight. Hang on. Alex Johnston's on the left edge. Who's the right edge? Who are the right edge players for the Rabbitohs? I would actually be going Rabbitohs right edge because the left. So the right edge of the Rabbitohs attack. That's who I'd be going for multiple try scoring tonight. In all honesty, because the Sharks' left edge defense is made of styrofoam. So whoever the attack is on the right-hand edge for the Rabbitohs, that's who I'd be going for multiple try scorers tonight. Spider Rico says only Broncos fans would like Walsh. Korombete takes it on the fall. 3 points the difference. Oh, it's looking flaky for the Wallabies at the back as they struggle to go with this pace that the All Blacks have now set at the back end of this half. Skelton, he's all size, no substance, Will Skelton. Tane Milne is on the right side. There you go. I would go the paper-thin Sharks defense on their left edge. I would actually go for Tane Milne, 2-time try scorer tonight. The Sharks are just getting decimated down their left-hand edge. So the Rabbitohs' right-hand attack, I would be stacks on for try scorers. down their right-hand attack side. Six phases here for the All Blacks. 11 minutes to go in this game. They lead by 3. Another converted try here would probably put this game to bed. And once again, it would be the All Blacks running over the top of the Wallabies at the death. And now Will Jordan's into space. Will Jordan looking for support. He's cut down just short of the line. Now they go to the right. Oh, they're lined up here, the All Blacks. They've got all the front football, all the momentum. Oh, penalty to the Wallabies. They've won the turnover. Right on the goal line, the Wallabies have stood up and won the turnover. That is a huge moment. Oh, I thought Will Jordan was on there. I really did. Jason Bourne says Campbell Graham, Tane Milne, Latrell Mitchell, and Cody for your same game multi. Wow, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 try scorers for the Bunnies. Jason Bourne's got about as much hope for the Sharks as I do in that game coming up tonight, apparently. Ex-Holland, I can't do. SGP here in the States. Vopsy needs Will Jordan to go over. He'll get over. He'll get over. Oh, spilled the beans at the back of the All Blacks. They get away with it. Will Jordan now on it. Oh, Wallabies, they've got a chance here to level the scores. A penalty right on halfway in front of the post. Surely you take the 3. Nick White's on the field, so surely you take the 3.
It's right on the edge, as you mentioned. Seems like a bit more turned around to sort of see which team I'll bring out. For 60 seconds.
Quade Cooper is stepping up to take this shot at goal. We've got 9 minutes to go in this contest. I feel like the Sharks have missed an opportunity here. Vopsy, Jason, I feel like the Sharks have really missed an opportunity. Common sense to me said move Nico back to fullback in Will Kennedy's absence. As Quade Cooper moves in, strikes it. It's on target, Cooper. It's over. Quade Cooper has kicked this over, and we are all locked up. 7.5 minutes to go in this game, and we are all squared up at 20 points all. But yes, speaking about the NRL later on tonight, I actually think the Sharks have missed a trick by not moving Nico Hines to fullback. Nico Hines is clearly out of form since Origin. Moving him to fullback, in my opinion, could have been the opportunity to just free him up and take some of the pressure off and get him back into just the attacking, free-flowing mindset. Just give him the Tom Trbojevic roaming capability. Braden Trindle and Matt Moylan in the halves. It's not the best, but, I mean, you've got to do what you've got to do. As the Wallabies now try and secure a turnover ball here, they can't. It comes back for the All Blacks. We'll talk about this a little bit later tonight, I'm sure, about the Fitzies just missed a trick here by not moving Hines to fullback, in my opinion. But anyways, we've got a big game going on here. All square. 7 minutes to go. All Blacks have got the ball. Coles now charging forward. They're just going through the phases here. All Blacks, they've got space out to the left. For now, bumps off one. Cuts back in field. They're 22 out from the line now, the All Blacks. Mo'unga sets it up. Smith feeds it out now. Coles. No penalties is the order of the day for the Wallabies because the All Blacks have the territory. They are in striking distance here, the All Blacks. Ball's held up. It goes to ground now. 11 phases. The All Blacks have had the ball now. Back it comes again. Leonard Brown falls. Feeds it back nicely. And they secure possession. I actually think the Roosters sneak into the 8 at the expense of the Sharks, Spider Rico, in all honesty. Roosters to steal the Sharks' 8th place spot on the ladder at the end of the season. That's my early prediction. 16 phases gone. All Blacks holding on to possession. Aaron Smith's been taken out at the base of the ruck. They get away with that, the Wallabies. That could easily have been a penalty advantage. 19 phases. And they still secure the ball. Staying on the blind side. They don't have the back line lined up. They're keeping it within pods. One out from the ruck. Now the kick across field. Oh, there's wide open spaces. Will Jordan was out there. No, Stevenson was out there. I thought it was Will Jordan out there. The kick has gone over the head of Stevenson. Mo'unga, the kick to Stevenson. The try was on if he catches it, but it was way over his head. Sean Stevenson couldn't have caught that if he was 10 feet tall. Oh, we've got an exciting finish coming up for this one. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes left in this game. We are all tied up. A penalty goal, a drop goal. It's going to be the difference. Truth Masters says don't laugh, but Raiders will finish 9th. No, I think the Raiders get in, mate. I do think the Raiders have enough in the tank to get into the 8. I do think the Raiders get into the 8 this year. I certainly didn't have that picked at the start of the season. So they've done extremely well. All right, Wallabies throw into the line out. Uncontested. They come down with the ball, but they are entrenched in their own territory here. Setting up a rolling wall, hoping the All Blacks collapse. They're looking for a penalty advantage. They don't get one. It's released by Nick White. All Blacks counter ruck. Got to get off that ball. They're up quickly. Wallabies have the ball. Approaching the halfway line now. Cooper. Out to Patea. Patea's taken down. The defence holds firm and it's spilt. It's been spilt forward by Quade Cooper. Oh, Quade Cooper has just gone goofed, as Quade Cooper does. And the All Blacks will have an opportunity to win this game. Now, Quade Cooper has dropped the ball uncontested. Quade Cooper and mistakes in New Zealand go hand in hand. And he has come through once again. 20 points all, 3 minutes to go. And the All Blacks are in Wallaby territory. They can just control the flow of this game now. Look for a Richie Mo'unga drop goal. Look for them to earn a penalty advantage. I don't think they're going for a try, in all honesty. Look for the drop goal. Look for the penalty advantage. The Wallabies have got to behave themselves here at scrum time. The All Blacks march forward. They're looking for the collapse. They're looking for the penalty advantage. They get it. The All Blacks have got the penalty advantage. And now they break away. Aaron Smith down the blind side. They're just 10 out from the line now, the All Blacks. Still under penalty advantage. Here we go. This is the chance. Richie Mo'unga will have a shot with 2.5 minutes to go to put the All Blacks in the lead. To make it 23-20. They just dominated the Wallabies there at scrum time. And Richie Mo'unga, 40 metres out, 10 wide of the left hand upright. Probably about 50 metres on the fly. On his favourite side, the All Blacks to take the lead with this kick. Viking King changing your tip to the All Blacks. You're not allowed, Viking King. It's too late. It's too late to be changing tips. Richie Mo'unga, this is a very difficult kick under pressure. Richie Mo'unga. I mean, there should really be no pressure on this kick, in all honesty. I know that it's going to win the game, potentially, but there should theoretically be no pressure on this because the All Blacks have already won the trophies. Mo'unga moves in, strikes it. Oh, look at that kick. It is right down the middle. Cool as ice. Richie Mo'unga and the All Blacks lead 23 points to 20 inside the last minute. All they have to do now is secure the kickoff, clear their own territory, and it will be game over. They go short, the Wallabies, and the All Blacks do secure a possession. Now they just have to clear. 30 seconds to go. Smith at the base of the ruck. They're going to set up another ruck. 15 seconds left. Smith calling for runners. He wants another ruck. They secure ball again. 5 seconds left. Australia try to counter ruck. They're going again. Whitelock into contact. Down it goes. Aaron Smith at the back of the ruck. Australia wildly counter rucking as the siren goes. It's freed by the All Blacks, and Mo'unga will punch it into touch, and the All Blacks win 23 points to 20. 23 points to 20. The All Blacks have won. An intense encounter here. $17 points to 3 at halftime. 23 points to 20 at full time. And the All Blacks have just once again finished over the top of the Wallabies.
Some of the rugby played today for the Wallabies, easily their best in 2023 under Eddie Jones.
Unbelievable scenes here. All Blacks get the job done once again. And I can't help but notice, like, the game really turned around for the All Blacks. The game really turned around for the All Blacks when Damien McKenzie made way for Richie Mo'unga and Finley Christie made way for Aaron Smith. Those were some very, very key changes to the All Black squad. Richie Mo'unga, Aaron Smith, there's no substitute for class. So there we go, 23 points to 20. Eddie Jones is now 0 from 4. Eddie Jones, since coming back and taking over the reins of the Wallabies, 0 from 4. He's lost to the Springboks. He's lost to Argentina. He's lost twice to the All Blacks. A 0% winning record for Eddie Jones since coming back in charge of the Wallabies. All right, Wasted Water Sports All-Stars. Thank you very much to our All-Star squad, which is starting to really take shape, by the way. I very much appreciate each and every one of you who have donated through Super Chats or have joined the Patreon. Our Wasted Water Sports All-Stars team well and truly taking shape there. Jason Bourne, Mr. Ed's Dead, Hamish McKenzie, Viliami, Gamer Mel, and Andrew O'Grady. Legends. All right, I'm going to have a very, very quick break because I've got to try and get everything sorted out now in time for the Broncos versus Cowboys coming up. And I mean, really coming up in about 15 minutes' time. I've got to try and get this sorted out. Broncos, Cowboys, Wasted Water Sports. Thank you very much for joining me for this one. NRL fans, stick around. Broncos, Cowboys coming up very, very soon here on the channel. Cheers. I'm still here because I can't find my mouse. There we go. All right, there it is. All right. Thank you, everyone.